Bro, I'm low-key faded, bro.
Highway.
What's this guy supposed to be, the ultimate badass?
They ain't ready. They ain't ready, Jim. They ain't ready. Here we go. I'm gonna go out here, guys. I was like, what is it? You look Mexican. What is that?
I missed you a little bit though, so I dig a little deep in there, right? But yeah, you did that.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the new episode of the Frisco Report. It's a Wednesday night for us. All right, so we're in it. We're in it to win it. What's up, Mike?
What's going on, you guys? Welcome, like Joe said, to another Wednesday night Frisco Report. Better late than never. We had some stuff going on yesterday. Just couldn't make the show, but we're here for you now.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Man, we have a great show today. All right, we're going to talk about first. We're going to talk about where this team is at, the latest news, injury news, and that sort of thing. All right. So, Mike, first of all, we have a lot of injuries, a lot of players not practicing. Any players that you think may not play concern you, or how are you feeling about the injury situation with the team?
You know, I'm not going to – you can't take teams lightly in the NFL. I get it. But if there's one more week where we can have 4 offensive linemen, if there's one more week where we can have Kevontae Turpin and CeeDee Lamb out, this would be the week, all right? I'm okay with where the injuries are right now. Get them one more week. I mean, Tyler Smith had pads on against these Jets, and he would have been able to play if one of those guys got hurt. He was going to be able to go do it. But give him another bye week. Give him another rest, you know. Don't rush anybody back. We're playing the Panthers. Let's stick to the game plan. Let's beef up some stuff. Let's rock what we have. The injuries aren't concerning me yet. But I'm not taking the Panthers lightly. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, definitely not taking the Panthers lightly. I think this will be a more of a challenge. I think to see a better team here, Panthers. You know, Panthers look like they've been playing a lot better ball, Mike, here lately. I think they have a winning record right now. Are they like 3-2 or something like that?
2-3. I said it wrong in my post game.
She was going down, bro. Man, what I'm wondering here, Mike, is the uprising of some the up and comers. I mean to say, the youth movement. I guess you could say, the next man up mentality. Do we actually have a little bit of that here and there, Mike? Next man up.
I think you do. I mean, Joe, you broke down the offensive line to a T this offseason, so we knew where the depth of the offensive line was going into it, and I'm quoting you here, is one of the best positions that we got on the team was offensive line, all right? So we knew TJ Bass, Brock Hoffman, how do you say his name? Agendi? Is it Agendi? Adeniji. There you go. Adeniji. We knew what they were capable of, right? We just had to see it, and now we're seeing it. Shout out to Nate Thomas. I don't think anybody had Nate Thomas on a radar of being a star up type of guy, but his stock. I mean, Tyler Smith in the Sounds of the Sideline pulled Nate Thomas aside and gave him his flowers immediately after the game. So big shout out to that leadership from Tyler Smith. And but when you look at the other side of the ball, right, linebacker, Shamir James coming in here, 15 tackles. Last week, Joe, what did I say, Joe? I said I want to give Shamir James one more week to see what he does, all right? I gave him the week, and what does he do, Joe? 15 tackles, led the defense, all right? He needs to work on his little cover ability, but I think Shamir James, the next man up, is there for him. Reddy Stewart, I think next man up could be ready for him as well. So there's some pieces here. Y.A. Thomas, next man up. There's some pieces there. But again, it's one game. Take it for what it is. But I like what I saw because I've seen players be out and the whole game plan down the toilet, Joe.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention the darling of darlings, Ryan Flanoy, Mike, the wide receiver. Was that his coming out party? Do we need to see more? Is this Miles Austin 2.0 Jim type of deal, or you got to see a little bit more?
I got to see more. I got to see more. Now, I will say this. George Pickens, CeeDee Lamb, and now Ryan Flournoy are the only guys that have a 100-yard game in their career on this team right now. Jalen Tolbert, only 98. Doesn't count. I need 3 digits. He don't have it. All right? We knew Ryan Flournoy was capable of doing it. We talked highly of the guy. Then he just disappeared. He did. And he was my guy. I mean, ask anybody that rocks with me. I was a big fan of Flournoy because I saw what I seen, but it just never really happened. Shout out to Schottenheimer. Shout out to Dak to be able to game plan that and work it in to Sunday being a successful day for Ryan Flournoy.
Yes. Yeah, Ryan Flanoy, fantastic game, but it was the Jets, you know what I mean? But it was an NFL team. So, you kind of have to look at it, from a clear eye view, as my boy Jalen Smith used to say. And go with it like that, man. You know what I mean? Definitely got to see more. We're not crowning the annoying. But you do like what you see. You know what I mean? I think between him and Nate Thomas, it's a beautiful thing with what you're seeing there, Mike, with guys coming in and playing at a high level. All right, Mike. That being said, the title of this podcast, the thumbnail, what has been the best addition to this roster? You can look at our free agents that we acquired in free agency. You can look at players that we traded for. You can talk about players that we drafted. That's a lot of players, right? If you want to give me a 1A, 1B, that's fine. Or if there's a clear cut number one, who has been the best addition to the Cowboys roster, Mike?
My guy, Javonte Williams, for Dak in this running game. For Dak to be successful, me and Joe and everybody else I rock with, we've told you guys week in, week out, in order for Dak Prescott to be successful, he had to have a running game. You have to be able to set up play action. When you're able to set up play action for Dak Prescott, he plays more comfortable. And guys, we haven't lied to you yet. All right. Javonte Williams being the bell cow that he is, I'm so happy that I was able to turn on some Denver film and say, I like it. It didn't take me long. It did not take me long, Joe. I'm being honest with you. I watched about two 30-minute sessions of Javonte Williams. So about an hour of film on Javonte Williams. Said, dude, this guy can really be something here. Then I have how can I sell the boys? All right. But Javonte Williams, man, his speed, not really his speed, but his power, his initial step, his greedy yards, his willingness to run somebody over. It's all there. It's all there. Elusiveness, durability, power. It's all there. Javonte Williams has been that guy.
Yeah, and that's a really good pick, Mike. And I'll be honest, he was definitely in my top 2. You know what I mean? So I'm going with the trade for George Pickens. For my best addition to this team, I don't think we win a single game without Pickens. If the Cowboys didn't add Pickens, you were stuck with Lamb, Tolbert, and then, maybe Flournoy gets an earlier shot. We don't know. Maybe they think Cropper or with these other dudes. Who knows? But that would have been good. I think all those games. I think we're sitting here 0-5 right now. George Pickens to me has been everything that we thought that he could be, and a little bit more. You know what I mean? I like the interaction that you're seeing between him and Dak. I think there's a good rapport there going on between those two. This reminds me of the rapport that Tomo had with
Des Bryant.
No. Laurent Robinson, right? You remember Laurent Robinson?
Laurent Robinson, yes,
Laurent
sir.
Robinson. He was like a 1-year wonder, though, right? Connection clicked early and often, earned himself a contract with the Jaguars. You're seeing it here now with Dak and Pickens. Could earn him a big payday. Could it be with the Cowboys? Could it be with another team? Who knows, Mike? Could it be a franchise tag in his future? I wonder. So I think that he's been a player, and like I said, I really like Javonte Williams. I think he's been an excellent piece to this offense. Without him, you probably are having this carousel of the running back by committee crap that we were all afraid of it. We can't do the committee crap. We need a clear cut dog, a clear cut hammer. And you have that with John Vontae. So, man, it's like a 1A, 1B for me. But I'm going with Pickens. Guys, in the comments and in the chat box, who has been the best addition to this roster, in your opinion? Post it out there. I'm curious to see what you guys think, Mike.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I like the Pickens trade 100%. There was a lot of mixed emotions with Pickens about lazy routes, work ethic. Right there, the Pittsburgh Steelers did a good job painting a narrative that we were inheriting a problem child. And I listened, I observed, I reached out, I talked to some people. They knew some Steeler fans, stuff like that. And they were like, I don't know. He can play. He just hasn't. They haven't had a quarterback in the Steelers organization since he's been there. And I remember talking about him in our pre-draft process. We kind of have the same draft report that was coming out on the trade report. We graded him as a second round guy, George Pickens, just because of the off the field there. So what did he play at Georgia? Was it Georgia?
Georgia, yes.
Uh-huh. And so, but now you come in, you have a quarterback who knows how to lead. Dak Prescott is a leader at heart, and you translate that with a guy like CD who can also lead. Off the field, CD, on the field, CD. There's some questions there. Is CD a dog? Whatever. But the leadership, you can't coach leadership. That comes natural. Either you got it or you don't. Introvert, extrovert type stuff. But the way George Pickens has came in here, the way the Dallas Cowboys and Schottenheimer have put this together in 5 weeks of football, Joe, Jerry right now looks like a genius for this trade. Was it worth the third-round pick? We still got 13 weeks of football to decide if it was. But right now, it looks like the third-round pick was worth it.
And we knew it was coming. Jerry historically loves trading for wide receivers. If the equity is there, the percentage of going for a receiver is very, very high. Roy Williams, right? I mean, Joey Galloway, Roy Williams, who was the other guy? Amari Cooper, right? If he feels that they're a way to boost the offense, he'll go out and be a bit aggressive and do it. You know what I mean? He has a pattern there, so I knew that was coming, dude. And we talked about it. We talked about how there's a cycle here of when he's going to do that trade for a receiver to throw into the mix. And he did it, so good far. Let's see how the rest of the season looks. But both these players are looking outstanding. Mike, just out of curiosity, let's look at the other side of the coin. What has been the worst or most disappointing addition to the roster thus far?
There was a lot of talk here for that I did, and I got it wrong. And I looked at Kenneth Murray with the Chargers. I looked at Kenneth Murray with the Titans, and I seen some potential there. And that tape lied to me, all right? And, the Williams tape, I got right. The Kenneth Murray tape, I got wrong. I thought I knew his coverage skills wasn't great, but I thought his run defense was semi-okay, like really good. Not really good, but like really okay. Better than what we've seen in from some of the other guys. But it hasn't been that for me for Kenneth Murray Jr. He can't cover a tight end to save his life. His read and react sideline to sideline type stuff is not there. He's a very slow linebacker, poor at tackling. For me, dude, Kenneth Murray Jr. has been a complete flop for me. I think we gave him a 5th round pick for him, and like George Strait says, I'd like to have that one back.
Yeah, no, that's that one hasn't really looked like it's panned out. Yeah, you make a good point there. I'm sticking with the same group. I'm going Jack San, lost identity. He I didn't. I don't know what you want. It sure ain't what the hype machine made him to be. All right, the creators cherry picking little clips here from training camp. Oh yeah, and then you get to the regular season. Terrible, bro. Terrible. I mean, he looks too slow out there. It looks like he's got concrete boots on right now. No, the look there. No athleticism. There's a mummy out there, from Egypt as your damn linebacker with the green. Can't happen. Can't. The linebacker crew needs an injection, and will that be overshown later in the season? Possibly, but the next offseason they gotta be very aggressive at the linebacker position and get them that captain again. We don't have a captain out there. We don't have a general, all right? So I'm going Jack Sanborn, Mike.
Yeah, if I had a 1-1, a 1A, a 1B, Kiar Elam, the Buffalo Bills guy. Obviously, we knew he was a bust, a former 1st round pick for them. Kind of can we resurrect his career here in Dallas? And the training camp, preseason, it looked like, we were on to something. And then real football happens. And Kiar Elam, I can see why Buffalo released you, with all due respect. And again, play that George Strait song for me again. I'd like to have that pick back. All right.
Yeah, man. It's one of those deals where you traded for the dude, so you gave up a pick, and they haven't cut him yet. And I don't know when that's gonna happen, but he doesn't look like he's worth a spot right now. You know what I mean? And then we pound the table. Well, I definitely pound the table on being aware of training camp hype. I used to be one of these dudes when it was I couldn't wait for training camp to get here. But now it's more of the same Jerry hype machine, bro. Like the cinematic review, the cinematic practice and crap like this. Like, it draws you in, bro. And then they show the good clips, but they never show the bad clips. And then you have the false reports that are giving you false reports. Like, we're here on the ground and this dude's doing this and that. And then it's a big, huge appointment, man. So moving forward, everybody, you really do have to go with camp reports with a grain of salt. Mike, let's talk about this upcoming game here with the Panthers, and let's talk about where we're at in the offensive line, Mike. All right, so Nate Thomas, Mike, the Mammoth. All right, What does his future look like for you? Do you think that this is something where he can earn himself a permanent spot, or is this going to be he's going to have to relinquish it once tap out comes back from the concussion injury? Like, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, a lot of people are focusing on Tyler Guyton, but I'm not going to be one of those guys that focus on Tyler Guyton. And it's tough because obviously they still want to see what they got in Tyler Guyton. And on the right side, it's tough because Terrence Steele is one of your best run blocking guys on your O-line, but his pass protection is awful. Nate Thomas, to me, is going to be the right tackle. To me. I think when you looked at Nate Thomas in training camp and in the preseason before Guyton went down with his little knee scare, Nate Thomas was playing the right side. And before Tyler Guyton got that concussion, they benched Terrence Steele and put in Nate Thomas. And then the concussion happened, Steele went back in, and Nate Thomas been playing there on the left side. But Connor Riley, Clayton Adams, Schottenheimer, they want Nate Thomas on this line, and I think it's going to be on the right side.
Interesting where to take the spot, because I'm not impressed with either. And I will talk about Tyler Guyton. I don't like the way he's played. You know, he's chasing, lunging, getting beat. The pressures that, like, you're watching the game and you can feel Dak feeling that pressure. You know, pressure is not a sack, but it does affect, you know, your trajectory. You know what I'm saying? Where you plant your foot, and the torque on the ball. You know what I mean? The accuracy. So not a fan of it. You know what I mean? I haven't been impressed. They talk about, oh, he's improved from year one. He's tapping out again, bro. The concussion, it could be true. It could be a concussion, and maybe it is. And if it is, injury prone. He missed a lot of time last year. He missed time in camp. That's why we saw Nate bouncing around, getting all this experience. And here he is again. So he's this close to being the injury prone tag on Tyler Guyton. This close. All right. Just so you guys can see. All right. He's this close to getting that. And that's real talk, bro. Bullshit.
So you're on the left side. I'm on the right side, Joe. That's interesting. And then Danny Savage, big shout out to him. He says that hopefully Cornelius is our right tackle. They got AJ Cornelius playing right guard, and that's where he's been all year. He hasn't been at the tackle spot. He's been playing right guard there. So be on the lookout for that too.
He just seems too damn tall for guard. I guess they just have to find a position for him, because they're not gonna cut that that draft pick, right? So interesting to see where that goes. I'm with you on Steele. Steele's pass pro is terrible, very bad. You know, Guyton and Steele, I guess if they have a strength, it is the run, but you need to get the ball down the field. Pass protection is very important, especially for an aging Dak. He cannot take hits, get blindsided, right? So something to monitor. I am on the Nate Thomas train. I am on that, full all aboard. If you want to get on it and join me, I'm on it. All right. And we'll see where it goes from there, Mike. Now, talking about your center position, we know that when Cooper Beebe comes back, he'll probably be reinserted in there. I fully expect that. And then Booker, Mike. Let's talk a little bit about Booker, all right? Any concerns on durability on Tyler Booker, or is it a little bit too early to have concerns on that yet?
Remind me what his injury was.
It's an ankle issue.
An ankle issue? No, I don't think so. Sometimes, I mean, you're in the trenches, you can get rolled up on. I mean, things happen in there. You know, it's happened to Zach Martin a couple of times, Tyron Smith, some of the greats. I mean, Travis Frederick, I think, got rolled up on a couple of times. That's just part of playing the trenches. Now, when your offensive line gets a concussion, that's a problem. That is a problem because helmet to helmet in the trenches is kind of inevitable, right? You can't help the ankles just because where you're at. Maybe you could put on extra tape. But now if it was concussion or if it was a back issue, if it was a shoulder issue, I would be questioning durability. But with the ankles playing in the trenches, I mean, I kind of expect it.
Yeah, yeah, I mean, it's probably early, right? But something to monitor. We see these Alabama guys come into the league. Almost every single one of them comes up with injuries. I'm watching this shit closely, so I want to see him get back, dominate. Good, man. He looked impressive. I think going back to Alabama guy, one of the better that has come into the league and looked pretty stout. You know what I mean? But I don't want to see this injuries like all that has haunted all these other dudes from Alabama. All of them have missed a crap load of time. And I don't want him to be part of that group. Mike, let's talk about Mike Balerna's super chat here. The offense has been outstanding, but this defense is still atrocious. We need to trade for a great defensive player to light a spark for the defense, Mike. What's your thoughts on
Oh, yeah. We semi talked about it last week, and I'm predicting that they'll use that second round pick if they really wanted to go make a splash. They'd use that second round pick. But right now, with the people coming back from injury on the defense side of the ball, I don't see them making a move.
Yeah, I think they just need to go with what they have right now. You know, they made their bet. All right, they didn't bring back Micah. Forks. They need to get players that they can control. You know, first round players. You get that 5th-year option, and the Cowboys. They seem to be. I don't know if it was just Micah, but maybe they're thinking moving forward is we're going to use every single year of that contract. And we're going to utilize the 5th year, and then we'll give you a new contract. Maybe that's how they're going to attack contracts moving forward, because this is kind of what this felt like. You know what I mean? With Micah, it's like, you know, you're on a rookie contract. You know. So who knows? We'll see what they do here. These guys do goofy crap either way with contracts. You just never know what you're going to get. It's like 1980 says, it's like a box of chocolates, bro. You never know what you're going to get with these guys. Yeah,
Super chat, Mike.
I wouldn't make a trade for that, but I appreciate that super chat, Mike. Great question, man. He also follows up with this here. Yeah, Eberflus. The defense is still not good, bro. We won the game with the Jets, but it should have been a more decisive win for me, man. You know why even 22 points? You know, if they're an 0-5 crappy team, you know, Justin Fields, nobody at receiver outside of Garrett Wilson. They don't have any tight ends. Should have been more of a blowout, but we'll take the win, right? We'll take the win.
Yeah, what was the score? It was at one point. It was what, like 23-3, 30-3, so 30-6, something like that. They got a couple of garbage play touchdowns, but it wasn't nothing to be like, oh my God, they're coming back. They're on their way. And what did they get their first touchdown in the 4th quarter? I think. I thought the defense did what they, you had Jack Sanborn out, who's total trash. Malik Hooker out, who's totally trash. I think then you had 5 sacks. I mean, they allowed 5 sacks total for the year. We come in there and we get 5 sacks in one game, so we doubled their sack count in one game. Then we held them to a couple of field goals. We forced a fumble. I'd like to see an interception. I'm tired of seeing these lame ass quarterbacks throwing all over us. But I mean, he had the most yardage, against us, 283 yards. But I think for the most part, I think the defense held their own. But again, garbage time stats. Dak Prescott thrived off that in a lot of games. So it is what it is.
Do you feel okay after we got this win with the 0-4 now 0-5 Jets? Do you feel like the Cowboys? Do you feel like we're back? Like what do you feel this team is at right now?
I don't think this was a get right game. Not by not any means necessary. You know, I still got him as a 9-win team. I had him at 12. I dropped 3 games. I'm still at 9 wins. Right now, I mean, the offense playing at a high level, but if your defense can't get interceptions, you can force a fumble every now and then, but you have to turn the ball over and you have to get sacks consistently. And if you can't do that, your defense is going to be in it for a long haul. So I still got us at 9 wins because the defense will cost us a lot of games.
Shamar James, Mike. Everybody's talking about the 15 tackles. You got one side saying that yes, 15 tackles when we're kind of, from behind zone, this kind of crap. Then you have other people saying, yes, 15 tackles is better than what it's been. The quality of these tackles has been better than what has been under Sanborn. Where do you like what do you feel the future is for Shamar James? Are we done with Jack Sanborn and it's going to be James time or what?
I think Shamir James. I'm on the side of Shamir James let some wide receivers and tight ends catch the football, and then he made the tackle. He did that a lot. Mm-hmm. I'm also where he's holding. He's standing there. He's not pursuing, and the ball runner comes to him, and he makes the tackle. I'm on that side of things. But from what I've seen him coming up, because this was only his second game. What I've seen, if he can keep the constant being around the ball, he will make plays. If you're around the ball, you will make some plays. And Shamir James' time is coming to make some plays. It's just a matter of time. But I like him better than Jack Sanborn, that's for sure.
That's kind of where I see it too. You cannot continue with Jack Sanborn, or otherwise the coach is culpable in the disaster of run defense in general. It just had to happen. So they're going to roll Shamar James and see if the more snaps will do him well. But you're not getting a top flight guy right out the gate. He's got to get his feet under him still. So yeah, I believe in that as well. So we'll see there. Definitely linebacker core is the weakest spot I feel on the defense. It looked like it was going to be strength in the offseason. Right now, it looks just like a big liability. The depths kind of starters are kind of like it's just that it's not good. It's leaving a bad taste in my mouth, man. So that being said, Mike, Rico Dowdle time, baby. He's talking about running all over the Cowboys. What do you expect this kind of game to look like? Rico Dowdle, he's calling it a revenge game. Is he going to run all over these guys, or what do you think is going to happen here?
All right, so he had over 200 yards rushing his last game. Before that, he had 86 yards total. All right, I said I'm going to say it like I said on the previous show. Ugly people have kids too. Sometimes you just get lucky. All right, and I think that he just had a game. I think we're going to put an emphasis on Rico Dowdle here, like we put an emphasis on Micah. All right, former players, they can't hurt us. Cowboys have a lot. Remember Dwayne Harris with the Giants came in, ran that back. We lost the game because of Dwayne. Cole Beasley had a couple of good catches against us, against Buffalo, when we had to play against him. But we need to treat this like DeMarco Murray and the Eagles, all right? We shut him down, the general, put him on his back. We need to do the same, all right? Put Rico Dowdle on his ass, Joe. Treat him like DeMarco Murray.
I think it's going to be best, bro. I think he's a physical back. Cowboys, they see a physical back in practice with Javonte Williams. Is that going to have them? I'm interested to see how they handle this. Actually, I really do expect Rico Dowdle to really want. He's going to have that motivation. You know what I mean? So I think it's going to be a fun game to watch. Hopefully, we come out with the win, but they can't let him get hot, because that's what he did last game. They gave him the ball more, and he carried the load, ran all over the place. We also were going to get a look at Tedero McMillan. He was a fan favorite during the draft season. I was not a big fan of him. Right now, he's got 24 catches for 351 yards, 14.6 per catch. 0 touchdowns, though. All right, can't get into the end zone. Tedero McMillan. Remember the guy?
Oh, yeah. Tet this, tet that. We need tet. Oh, God. Arizona product did not come to us. Thank God.
Yeah, well, I wasn't a big fan. And that being said, I don't want to see him make plays on us. You know what I mean? Because then you're going to have these guys. I told you we should have drafted this guy. I just don't see it from him. You know, but I think he is contributing, for a rookie at 51 yards. I think that's on pace for pace to have a pretty decent season, I would say. We're 6 week. This is about to be 6 week the NFL season, so not too bad rookie numbers. So definitely he is a little bit of he's probably is a folk. They have some physical tight ends. It's going to be a good game here now. Where I think the Cowboys should be able to get this going is Bryce Young. But do you have confidence in Eberflus coming up with a game plan to rattle Bryce Young, Mike?
They played more man than they have all year. I think Matt Eberflus is listening to his players. We're talking about Bryce Young here, guys. We can't let this guy look like Caleb Williams. But I think we need to learn our lesson on that bull crap, on that bull jive. I think if the players can bring up good suggestions, I think Matt Eberflus is willing to listen and implement that on Sundays. But I was happy to see that they actually listened to the players and did implement some man.
Yes, indeed. I want to see the secondary lock it down. I want to see us rattle him, because I think Bryce Young is one of these young quarterbacks, and he's already shown it in his career thus far. You rattle this guy, interceptions are going to start coming your way. All right, so I want to see that. I want to see the pass rush. That means I want to see James Houston over Knucklehead. Right? I want to see James get after it. Ezra Rockwell, does he get his first sack in this game, Mike?
Hey, there's some. He's just so tiny, poor guy. Another quote from 1980. Bless his heart. He's around that corner, dude, and he's bending, and it's like, it's crazy his bend and how close his shoulder pads are to that ground when he's coming up that corner. But he's been close. I'm going to say, Joe, he gets his sack. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, man. It's looking like that, this is going to be it's going to be one of those games, bro. I do feel like, this is going to be one of those games, and this is on the road, I believe, right, Mike? We're playing at Carolina?
That is correct.
We're going to be on the road, Carolina. Will it be a wet game? I think there's a hurricane or some kind of crap out in the ocean over there. I wonder if that's going to bring in some moisture. The wet ball, I wonder if that's going to be of any kind of concern for this game. That's something to keep there. Carolina Panthers, bro. Where are these guys at?
2-3.
They're at the they're about in the middle of the offense. They're below the Jets when it comes to ranking offensively. So
yeah, Bryce Young don't even have 1,000 yards. He has like 950 yards.
So that in itself should be something there. So another road game for the Cowboys. Panthers offense is below the Jets, who we just beat. Just not very good. You know what I mean? Like they're on the bottom, almost the bottom corner. So defensively, the Panthers. Is there anybody on the defensive side of the Panthers game that gives you any kind of concern, Mike?
Josh Horn still there?
Who?
Josh Horn? Is it Josh Horn?
Never heard of the guy.
Who's their corner Horn? He was a first round draft pick. He went before Micah. Jason Horn. There you go. I knew it started with the J.
JC, bro.
JC. Is JC there?
I believe he's still there, but he's not the Patrick Surtain that people thought he was going to be. He did get himself a new contract though. He's probably like their better cornerback, but if he's going to mirror Pickens, he's in for a long day, bro. I think we'll get him, dude. I do.
Picasso.
Yeah, man. Mike, this is going to be an interesting game for the Cowboys. Let's say let's talk about both sides of the coin. Okay, if the Cowboys lose this game, are we back to square one and just wondering what the hell the future is of this team? Conversely, Mike, if wins, is it going to be a quality win? Is it a win where Panthers pretty good team, we won, or is this like we're expected to win this kind of game? Like, what is your feeling on if we lose or if we win? What does it do for the team?
If we lose, it tells me we're just a 500 team. You win one, you lose one, you tie one. You win one, you lose one, you tie one. Mm-hmm. It just shows me that they're just a 500 team. If they win, how do they win? Is it another convincing win like it was against the Jets? Can you beat a bad team? All right. And that's what I want. I want to go in there. I want to put another 35 to 40 points on this team. Don't take them lightly. Don't even kill them with kindness. Just be a straight thug and just go in there and start popping bullets everywhere and get them down and go win the game convincingly. That's what I want to see because, Joe, you got the Commanders right after that, dude. You got the Broncos right after that. You can't afford to play around with these bum teams, dude. You got to kill them, and you got to kill them fast.
Yeah. So looking at the forecast here, there's no percentage of rain as of yet. Says sunshine with some clouds, no rain in the forecast. There will be some wind, 10 mile per hour wind. That's I wouldn't say that's gusty, but it is a little bit significant. Good thing is we have the kicker of kickers, Brandon Aubrey, to offset that. So looks like we're going to be good with the weather there. Doesn't look like there's going to be rain to be concerned about. So, Brando's got the forecast as well. Thank you, Brando. Yep. Appreciate that as well.
Best moderator in the game.
Good looking out. So, good stuff, bro. Good stuff. For me, I expect the Cowboys to win this game. Panthers, I think they'll put up a fight better than the Jets did. But the key is to rattle Bryce Young. They have to get on him. If they let him just sit there with a clean pocket, that'll be a different story, Mike.
Right. No, 100%, dude. They have to be able to sack this guy. Come on, man. We if we're gonna be a 500 team, let's just be a 500 team. We'll lick our wounds and we'll try it again next year. But if we really want to compete and do something and make some noise here with this explosive offense that we do got, then let's do it.
No, you said it exactly the way it is. If they lose this game, then yeah. And I've been saying it too, that I don't want this to be the type of season where it's the Garrett-like, where you win 2, win 1, lose 2. Like there's a pattern. You know what I mean? Like give me a string of wins, bro. Give me 8 go on a run. You know what I mean? Not this week to week step up. All right. That's what I want to see. That's what I expect. And that's what I want to see, man. Anything less than that, I'll be thoroughly disappointed, bro.
100%. We got to keep, as fans, we got to keep our feet on the Cowboys' throats too. You know, we can celebrate wins, but sometimes you just got to knock that dust off. You got to and keep going, but you still got to stay true to yourself and your fandom, dude. Because if we ain't heavy on these cats, bro, they'll get carried away, dude.
Oh yeah, that's real talk right there, bro. Yeah. And that's what we live here, man. And that's what we pride ourselves on here, is giving you the real, both sides of the coin. We don't give the finding the leprechaun and gold at the end of the rainbow type crap. This is the real deal Holyfield with myself in Cowboys Corner. Mike, that's it for tonight's show. Let everybody know they can find you if they haven't already, bro.
Yeah, no, the channel has been growing over the last few months. I want to appreciate everybody that's been new. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss Talking Crazy on Saturdays. You don't miss the Frisco Report right here on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, depending on what day. Just hit the notification bell and you won't miss a live, all right? You won't miss the breakdowns of breakdowns and the realists and the reels. But no, shout out to Danny Savage, the draft guru, who's in the comment section, dropping players. I've been watching a lot of his content. And just listening to, I mean, he's not putting first round guys out. I mean, he will. He just put out a wide receiver that's probably going to be an undrafted free agent. That's the type of stuff that, you know, we can give you, and Danny Savage does it every day. So big shout out to Danny Savage. Subscribe to him.
Exactly, man. Well said, Danny Savage. Great part. We have great creators that give the real here. You know, talking about fifth quarter Cowboys. We're talking about, you know, Eshawn, Brando. We're talking about just everybody that when you catch us on whatever channel it is, we have something for almost every night of the week. You know what I mean? So it is great content. We do appreciate everybody that follows us here at the Frisco Report. Remember, it is the Frisco Report. Visit that book market. We got everything there. Our draft classes are there. The podcast is there if you want to listen to it on the replay while you're working out, pumping iron. You can do that. All right. But that's all we have tonight, guys. We do appreciate it. We'll see you for the next episode.